Hey, women of God, it's your girl Kim Brooks, national best-selling author, and I'm here to inspire and empower you when it comes to being a single woman of God, becoming who God predestined you to become, living out your purpose while waiting with expectation, believing God for his best and not settling for Satan's mess when it comes to dating and relationships. And today, I want to talk to you about how to deal with being ghosted. I hate that term. I hate the idea of this whole phenomenon in today's dating culture where we have attached a term as if we're normalizing abandonment. I hate that term. Ghosting is basically, if you're not aware, it's when someone totally loses contact with you. You could be getting to know someone, you can be dating someone, you can have a full-fledged relationship, exclusive relationship with someone, and the next thing you know, they ghost you, meaning they disappear. You know how ghosts disappear? You text, they don't text back. You call, they don't call back, or they've blocked you, or they've totally left. They've ghosted you, they've abandoned you with no explanation, no communication. It's just a horrible phenomenon. So I want to share with you how to deal with that. But first, I want to mention why people ghost in the first place. And I mainly minister to women. Men enjoy my videos as well. And as a woman, from my perspective, a lot of reasons that men ghost is that one main reason is they've moved on. Especially if you're kind of like just getting to know someone new. You may have met them online, and you may have had regular communication with them, and then they suddenly disappear or stop communicating and they ghosted you. Well, a lot of times it could be an ex-girlfriend may have come back in the picture, or they have met someone and moved on, or there could be several reasons. Rather than mull over why they did it, just know that a person, whether male or female, who ghosts is pretty much the most selfish human being on the earth, because they're only thinking about themselves and they're not considering how their actions affect other people, especially if you were getting to know or getting to know in a relationship. I mean, I've actually spoken to a woman before that she was almost engaged to someone and they ghosted her. I mean, it's just so selfish and cowardly that someone, a grown adult, does not know how to have a conversation. So cowardly because they don't want to face something that they're afraid of the person's reaction. Or some people may hide under and say, well, I don't want to hurt her feelings. But how much more are you hurting someone by disappearing without a trace, without an explanation, and without any communication? That's hurting someone, and it's intentional and it's not right. And also I want to mention, make sure you're not the ghoster yourself. You know, we hear the term do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And that actually is not a scripture in the Bible. It's like a term that we've adopted as gospel, but it's inspired by Luke 10:27 when it talks about how you should love your neighbor as you love yourself. And, you know, we're all in this self-love movement, you know, self-love, yay, self-love. Well, guess what? You love your neighbor as you love yourself. So that means you also want to consider your neighbor while you're loving yourself. So if you ghost someone yourself, you're sowing seeds of negativity, abandonment, selfishness. You're putting that out there if you decide to ghost someone. And so don't be surprised when you consistently get ghosted as well, because you're sowing those seeds. And we know just from scriptural standpoint, you reap what you sow. So if a situation arises where as you're getting to know someone, like I talk about, dating is all about collecting data. Dating is about discovery. And if you discover the person is not the one God has for you, and even if you've just met them, let them know. I prefer telephone. If you've been communicating, whatever the last way you've been communicating, if you've been communicating by telephone, then call the person and say, you know what? I think you're a great person, but I just think you're not the one for me. And I don't think we're going to work. But thank you, though. I pray you find what you're looking for. That works. It's honest. It's polite. And it's the truth. And the truth always trumps everything that's false. So, you know, and it's something that someone can digest without feeling offended or upset. Now, they may be in their feelings a minute, but at least you were honest, and at least you gave them the courtesy of a phone call and an opportunity to communicate. Because you may find that in sharing your thoughts, they may share their thoughts, and you may come to a different conclusion just from communicating. And you may end up on one accord and on one page, whereas before you may not have been. So there's always power in communication. Now, if you feel like you don't want to call, then at least send a text. If it's someone you've just met, it's just not working out, or there's some toxicity in there, then at least send a text and say, you know what? I'm no longer interested. I've moved on, but thank you. And I pray you find what you're looking for. And at least do that. So you don't want to be the ghoster. I mean, you want to extend the courtesy so that you don't end up reaping what you sow if you ghost someone else. So, but yeah, as far as how to handle being ghosted, just know that a person who ghosts someone, don't take it personal, because you're probably not the first person they've done it to. And a person who ghosts someone, it's more of a reflection on them than it is on you. It's showing how they are as a person. It's showing their lack of communication skills. It's showing their lack of extending courtesy and doing the basic human things to at least be kind. I mean, the basic stuff, the basic. It's showing that they're the selfish ones. So it's not a reflection on you. And like I said, don't again try to figure it out. Oh, why did I not do this? Did I not do that? Did I not do this? No, a person that does that ghosts you, it's a reflection on who they are as a person. And you don't want that kind of person in your life. Definitely not in a relationship, because that means anytime times get tough or anytime they don't want to communicate, they'll just shut down or disappear. And you don't even want to deal with that. So I definitely wanted to mention that. Let's see if I covered everything. Last thing is, ghosts disappear and reappear. So the person that ghosts you, don't be surprised when they try to reach out to you and say, hey, how you doing? As if they didn't ghost you 2-3 months ago and not say anything. Now they're just trying to come back in your life. No apology, no explanation, just, hey, WYD. No. If they do that, then that's when you can block them, because they've already ghosted you. So you can basically ignore their message, because they ghosted you already. I've had situations where someone ghosted me, tried to come back 3 months later, and I thought I had blocked their number. I'm like, what in the world? So in that instance, ghosts will try to reappear in your life. Once they ghost you, they've already shown you who they are. And at that point, they're not even worthy of communication back. They're not even worthy, because they've ghosted you already. So just know that ghosts are going to try to come back. You don't have to respond. As the saying goes, treat people how you want them to treat you. So if you respond or like, oh, hi, what happened? Where you been? And then now you're communicating again, you're basically letting him know that it's okay for him to appear and reappear in your life. And that's not okay. When dating, you want to also look out for consistency. You want to see whether or not the person is consistently pursuing you, being considerate towards you. And a person who ghosts you is inconsiderate, someone you don't even want to deal with. So don't let them come back in your life, because it's only a setup for them to do it again. And so you don't want that disappointment. You don't want that heartbreak. You don't want that in your life. So, all right. I've shared what I wanted to share. And share in the comments if you've been ghosted before, what your experience has been like. Feel free to share in the comments. Subscribe to my video for future videos. Subscribe to my channel for future videos like this. And like the video and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified. And also check the description box, because different ways that you can receive my books and also connect with me. So I pray you were blessed by this video. And as I always say, be and stay encouraged.